So if Manolo is ready with the live case, otherwise we can take a few questions. Manolo, are you ready? Can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay, he has muted his mic. Manolo?
Yes,
Okay,
I'm
let's
ready.
take some
We are
questions.
ready.
You're ready? Yeah, hi. Let's start.
So, can you hear me?
Yes.
I have a microphone.
The volume is very low.
That's because of COVID.
Can you turn up the volume?
Have to shout, or maybe I'll have to put my mic inside the mask.
Oh.
Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Maybe I should put the mic into my mouth. So,
okay, what's the case?
This is a young lady with an uncinate neoplasm, unresectable, and she just had EUS-FNA done by my partner Carlos de la Serna. And he's behind the eye shield. Is with gastric outlet obstruction. Despite having had an NG tube overnight, she still had a lot of fluid content. And unluckily for us and for herself, of course, the stricture is located in the third duodenum. If you remember what we discussed during the talk earlier, the third duodenum is the most difficult location for the Guidewire to go through, even if it is one of the least common. It is precisely in uncinate neoplasms that cause third duodenal stricture. Now I'm going to start with a side viewing. With the side viewing scope. So
please give all of your staff a big thanks for staying late on our behalf. I know it's a Friday evening. Manolo?
So we are with the side viewing scope. Can you? Oh, okay. You have the floor, the room image. We're gonna switch to endo. So you see a lot of fluid, a lot of bile, retained content in the stomach despite the NG suction. Can you see the endoscopy now?
Yes.
Okay, so as I said, I'm with a duodenoscope through the pylorus. Okay, this is at the apex. It's not so bad. It is not so bad. At the apex, I can go through, and then the real one, the real stricture is here, right distal to the papilla. Let's try our luck with an Oasis 8.5, and the beauty of this catheter is that the pushing segment of the catheter is 8 French, but it has a very soft tip and it has radio opaque markers. So let's see if we can make a Guidewire go through. I have a very good tactile feedback. My catheter is going nicely. I think we got lucky this time. The catheter got through. Now we put some saline into the catheter. We're going zoom uno. We're going to zoom in with the fluoro un poquito vertical hacia mí. No. Ahora después. Maybe you can take a look at the fluoro. See how we manipulate the Guidewire. remember the tip of my side viewing endoscope is in the distal second duodenum, facing the beginning of the third duodenum.
We need fluoro pictures, Manolo.
Okay, Ramon is working on that.
Okay.
This is everything. The IT is
Okay.
homemade.
I know. Great
And we are
effort. Thank
not
you.
Indians. We are not Indians. So gastroenterologists is saying do not
No,
have an IT
great effort.
background.
Great effort.
Do you get the fluoro now?
Yes, fantastic.
So
Nice
you
view.
see Almudena in my right hand side is pushing the guide wire. And you see what's happening with the guide wire is taking loops, but not
Yes.
moving farther deep. So what I'm going to do now is push, empuja, at the same time that she pushes, try to loop this Oasis catheter. Empuja, fuerte. Okay, it's not happening. I'm pulling back. Retira la guía, retira, mira la endoscopia. Okay, and I'm trying to empuja, yeah. Okay, very easy. Now the guide wire is going forward, and you see I'm pushing the catheter. I'm past the trides now. I see some contrast. I don't know if this is from exam at the referring hospital. I don't know. I would like to ask now Takao and Anthony, is this deep enough for you? Puedes mover un poquito de lado.
Looks nice. Beyond the ligament of trides already.
Yeah, looks like.
Okay. Can we exchange? Now we hacemos intercambio. We remove the catheter, el drenaje nasobiliar, preparado y purgado. And we're gonna use, so I'm not using fluoro. I will for you. So I have a long distance of catheter. You see the papilla, the patient is not jaundiced, as far as I know. So Dr. De La Serna, my partner Carlos De La Serna, confirms that the patient is not jaundiced. This is just a presentation with gastric outlet obstruction. And in case she has developed symptomatic biliary obstruction, you see ERCP is perfectly doable in this patient. That's the papilla, and the stricture is distal to the papilla. A case might be made for EUS-guided biliary drainage as patients with synchronous biliary and duodenal obstruction have a higher likelihood of biliary stent dysfunction if drainage is done transpapillary. Okay. So do you see the endoscopy now?
Yeah,
Yes,
perfect.
yes.
You
That's perfect.
endoscopy or fluoroscopy. Now this is endoscopy, just to give you a brief glimpse of the 8.5 nasobiliary drain catheter. You see this is 8.5. My assistant is putting some traction on the wire. I'm gonna give you the fluoro view now.
Yes.
So the catheter is moving nicely. Tira de la guía, tira más, tira más, tira más, tira más, tira más, tira más, tira fuerte, tira más fuerte. Okay, I think that's okay. I'm gonna remove the echo endoscope, the duodenoscope, leaving the guide wire. Quítanos un poquito de zoom. I'm gonna leave the fluoro room, fluoro show. poquito vertical hacia aquí. Alguien que recomienda para So now we exchange the echo endoscope for the duodenoscope for the echo endoscope. Maybe you want, this is relatively easy, but maybe we can have a room view now. In fluoro, we are okay. This is what you see. We leave the guide wire in place until we remove the duodenoscope. Now, mostramos el ambiente. So, we have to exchange scopes, and in the meantime, we will show you how we handle this. So now we remove the guide wire. We put the cap back on the nasobiliary drain. I use fluoro that you cannot see, and the nasobiliary drain stays in place. As I said, the real name for this would be orojejunal catheter, because this is not draining anything. And the time that we have here now spending in exchanging the scope, we could have saved if the stricture would have been in the first duodenum. Now, Almudena, my assistant, can we have some zoom here, Ramon? No zoom, so this is low cost transmission, sorry. Basically, we're putting the cap back on the nasobiliary drain and then connecting to the pump. So we have a regular water pump, and we start putting I can start putting some water through the pump. Now my assistant Almudena, she's holding the drain, the catheter, just to prevent looping into the stomach as I go alongside. I'm gonna put the end of view on the catheter. So I go alongside Ramon. We go back to endoscopy. So our IT guy is also on endoscopy. He's running around the room very carefully.
We don't see the endoscopic image.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Can you see the endoscopy? You see the drain in the esophagus, right?
Yes.
I'm going alongside. I'm using fluoro that I cannot show you. No, espera, tranquilo. So we have a little bit of looping here in the stomach. That was before I removed the air. I apply suction. So I'm doing some suction. Before I'm moving towards the posterior gastric body wall. ¿Me podéis dar una mascarilla distinta? ¿Por qué no se ve el eco? I'm gonna switch the ultrasound on. So, I'm gonna step on the pedal, looking for the small bowel. Okay, give me. Yeah. So yeah, can you hear me better now?
No.
Much better.
Ok, quita este otro. Ramón, fluoro now.
La tienes.
There is an echo, lot of echo coming.
So you see a lot of echoes, bright echoes. This is the small bowel, right? And the idea is to remove that. Remove that air and fill the small bowel with.
Show us endoscope image, echo endoscope image, US image.
This is too much. We cannot. What do you want, Takao? EUS?
No, yes. Now, so we can see only fluoroscopic imaging.
We cannot see both. I just wanted to show on the fluoro the repositioning of the drain. So I'm going to pull on the drain. You see on the fluoro?
Yes,
It's straightening.
I understand.
You see the pigtail coming a little bit closer. The pigtail is there, next to the echo endoscope. Now, when I press on the pump, I can see the bowel. Okay, and now I can show the EUS. Pon el echo. Do you see the EUS now?
yes,
Yes.
Okay. Hopefully, there's still some air. Where I did not want it to be. We haven't been putting a lot of air. Okay, I'm looking the wrong way. I'm using the fluoro to adjust my position. Que sí, que lo veo. Se ve aquí. I'm zooming in on the EUS. I don't know if you can see that.
Yes.
Apologize for the quality of the image.
it's nice, very nice.
Is it good? Okay.
Manolo,
Yes,
I guess a lot of water going back to the stomach, right?
that is true. That is true. Yeah, we have an issue with that. Let's see on endoscopy how it looks like. Let's put some air. We did have a lot of bile, if you remember. So the stomach does not have a lot of fluid inside, okay? Just this puddle here. So I'm going back to EUS. I'm having a little bit difficulty in finding the right loop of bowel. Okay, that's very nicely drainable, but it's not our target. So maybe it has something to do with what Anthony told about the variations in the anatomy. So maybe we could use a little bit contrast. Now there is some highlights. And again, as Takao said in his lecture, we wait patiently until we have a nice window. Vamos a poner, so we're gonna use a little bit of help from X-ray. We're putting contrast through the nasobiliary drain and some methylene blue. Contraste con azul. Sí, sí. So there is bowel there with air, but it is not nicely distended. ¿Qué pasó? ¿No va?
So Manolo, what position are you having the patient, and have you given the patient any Buscopan, and how much have you
Patient
injected?
is left lateral semi-prone.
Left lateral
It's
semi.
almost on his belly. That might be one of the difficulties why the fluid is not staying. She's too flat on her belly.
Okay.
So probably a little bit
Any
more
Buscopan?
sideways. Pues estamos inyectando contraste. Now we put some contrast, a methylene blue. Sigue, sigue, sigue. Now we're beginning to see some distension. We had an issue, maybe kinking or maybe something, with until the nurse Almudena injected and unblocked it, we could not get any distension. That was the reason why. Now she had to press very forcefully, and we get this nicely distended segment of small bowel. We can go back to EUS. Vamos a
Very nice view.
Now we have EUS, el de 20, lo abrimos, lo mojamos. Vamos, ponemos la bomba. Esto es azul con contraste. So, we had one little difficulty, not very, difficult to understand, but the nasobiliary drain was somehow blocked or kinked. While I was stepping on the pump pedal, no fluid was going into the small bowel. That's the reason why we couldn't get a target. Now that it is unblocked by the forceful injection done by Almudena, I have my target right in front of me. There are some bubbles. Ha entrado aire, ¿no? Ha entrado aire, okay? Okay. Some air is coming from the pump, so I'm not going to inject. My Axios catheter is going. Takao, do you like the position this loop is standing at the moment?
Not bad.
Not bad.
Hmm.
How do you like that one?
Yeah, much better.
Much better. Okay.
Much better.
My catheter is coming from the right side. I want to see the water boil. At the count of 3, I'm going to zoom in on the ultrasound. 1, 2, 3. I want to see the water boil. Did you see the water boil or not? You saw
Yes.
it, right? It was. So I know I'm deep in. I keep pushing, but without stepping on the cautery. I lock the gray button, and then I'm ready to deploy. The flange is going to come backwards towards me, but I'm deeply in. You see the flange? Now I'm pulling back to do intra-channel stent release. So I've done step number 1, step number 2. This pushback is step number 3. Do you like it there, Takao, or is it okay?
Yeah, okay. Nice.
Okay, so I lock, and I'm ready to go step number 4 on the proximal flange. And then I will switch to endoscopy. So I deploy, the only thing you notice during step 4 is that the distal flange stays on target without moving. I've already deployed inside the channel, and I'm going to shift to end of view to show you step number 5, which is basically pushing the proximal flange out from the scope working channel. For that, I unlock the lower button, and then I push the gray part of the catheter while my elevator is down, my insufflation is on, and my echo endoscope is being pulled backward. I'm pushing a black catheter, elevator down, pulling back, rotating, and then you see the methylene blue comes here. So there is no concern whatsoever of peritoneal misplacement for two reasons. First, we saw the distal tip of the hot axial catheter boil the water in the jejunum. So we saw those bubbles. There's no missing. We saw under ultrasound the distal flange being deployed inside that loop. And third, we saw the methylene blue flowing backwards. If there's any doubt, you remember the gray color nasobiliary drain? Can you see at the bottom of my axial tip? So this is intraluminal. And now to finish, before we conclude, maybe Ramon, we can show the X-ray. So I'm going to step on the fluoro. You see now contrast is flowing back into the stomach. This is painting the folds of the stomach. We can go back to endoscopy, Ramon. Vamos a endoscopia. I'm going to pull out the nasobiliary drain catheter. You see the methylene blue here, proximal flange, and that's it. I don't know if there are any questions or comments or...
Fantastic, very, very, very nice demonstration. Excellent, Manolo.
So we have a little bit of a stricture here at the apex,
Yeah.
but not terrible. And then we have another one just distal to the papilla.
Yes.
In the third duodenum that we could see much better with the side view, with the semi-oblique forward viewing of the echo endoscope, linear echo endoscope, is a little bit more tangential. And as for the position of the axial stent in the stomach, you see it's lying mid-body, body to fundus junction, right? So it's
Yes.
lying, this is the usual typical location. And we will let these 20 millimeter axis to expand gradually over the course of a few hours. And we are done. So I'm going to remove the echo endoscope.
Fantastic, fantastic. So, Manolo, there is a question. What is the advantage of an OSS over a Fogarty catheter? Can you hear me? What is the advantage of an OSS versus Fogarty catheter for advancing the wire?
Catheter,
Yeah.
maybe while they move the patient in the room, I can take the microphone
Yes.
somewhere else so we have less background noise.
Sure.
And we don't interfere with the personnel, right?
Yeah.
Ramón, ¿podemos llevarnos el micrófono a otro sitio para no molestar aquí? Sí, hemos terminado a la puerta.
A la puerta.
Vale, pues a la puerta.
No mucho porque...
Bueno, pues vamos.
Takao. In the meanwhile, there is a question: do patients develop severe diarrhea and malnutrition post EUS-GEA?
I've never experienced that, but after injection, a lot of water was herring. Maybe it causes severe diarrhea or something.
Okay.
Yeah. Overhydration.
Okay. There's a question for me. Have you done a benign case? I have done one. It didn't go well. The patient came back pretty soon.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Then can we use a single balloon? Takao again. Instead of a 2 balloons, can we use a 1 balloon which occludes the lumen distally?
Yeah, so I experienced a single balloon, but as I mentioned, a lot of water easily go back stomach, and not so fully occluded. Fully occluded and
You scared me, Takao, with the water.
minimum amount of saline is much better for the patient. Just 100 cc or something. Sometimes just ENBD tube pumping or needs a lot of water.
No, the volume that we need to inject is not so big. It's 200 cc. So currently we are doing a prospective study of this EUS-GEA technique. We're measuring all the technical, like the volume that we inject, the time it takes for each step, if a trainee can do it, all of that. And this is a multi-center prospective Spanish trial. So far, the mean volume is 200 cc. The problem with our pump today, it is because of this, when you're doing things at a live demo, you may not be paying attention to every step. Our catheter was kink. I was stepping on the pump pedal, but the water was not going through into the small bowel. Then Dr. Itoi said, "You have a lot of water in the stomach." And I said, "Oh, maybe my catheter slipped back into the stomach or something." Luckily, it wasn't like that. The stricture was very tight. So there was no reflux of saline or methylene blue, because we didn't see any methylene blue backward into the stomach until after the axis was opened. So all the fluid that we could see during the initial steps of the EUS was the bile that was originally already there when we started. But obviously the reflux of fluid into the stomach is a concern. And as it is the gastric retained contents for this procedure.
Manolo, lateral position or prone position or supine position?
We use semi-prone, left lateral semi-prone. So, like the old ERCP, the left arm is on the patient's back and the patient is a little bit prone, but not fully flat on their bellies.
You're getting a lot of congratulations on a fantastic demonstration. Lots of congratulations are coming as comments. Very, very nice.
Thank you. We appreciate that from Valladolid and all the team that stayed on a Friday afternoon after hours. As I said, Vinay, they're all very happy, provided they are invited to go to Mumbai for next.
Please come.
The nurses too.